Hare Krishna devotees, today's shloka for the day, shloka number 40, where the Lord is beginning to respond to Arjuna's questions. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Parthanaiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschid durgatim tata gacchati. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Parthanaiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Parthanaiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. Please recite after me. Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Parthanaiveha namutra
Parthanaiveha
vinashastasya vidyate
Shastasya
nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati.
Gadim Tada Gacchati.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri
Parthanaiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Parthanaiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. Word for word meaning, translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
The Supreme
Personality of Godhead said,
Partha, O son of Pritha,
O Son
na eva, never is it so, iha, in this material world,
in this
na, never, amutra. In the next slide, vinashaha, destruction, asya, is,
his
vidyate, exists, na, never, he, certainly, kalyanakrit, one who is engaged in auspicious activities,
One who is engaged in auspicious activities.
kaschit,
Chit.
anyone,
Anyone.
durgatim,
Durgatim.
to degradation,
Degradation.
tata,
Tata.
my friend,
Friend.
gacchati,
Gacchati.
goes.
Goes.
Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
The Supreme
Personality of Godhead said,
son of Pritha,
Son of Pritha,
a transcendentalist,
transcendentalist,
engaged in auspicious activities,
engaged
engaged in auspicious activities,
does not meet with destruction
does
does
not
not meet with destruction,
either in this world
either in this world
or in the spiritual world.
or in the spiritual world.
One who does good, my friend,
One
Who does good, my friend,
is never overcome by evil.
is never overcome by evil.
So, in response to the three questions of Arjuna, where he seems to be anxious about the position of those spiritualists who may not succeed in one lifetime practicing spirituality, in reaching their goal, in reaching their objective. We said from Shloka 40 to 45, the Lord is responding to Arjuna's three questions. The word tata in the last line of the shloka is actually a word of endearment, which literally means son. The word tata means son. Here Prabhupada translates it as friend. So Krishna is first of all showing his affection for his son, Arjuna. Similarly, even a guru can call his disciple Tata out of affection. In this case, Krishna is not only the Supreme Father, but he is also acting as the spiritual master for Arjuna in this particular situation. What is the Lord categorically stating here? He's stating here that he takes care of his devotees who are pursuing the transcendental path. And Krishna is saying, he is a compassionate God. It doesn't matter which transcendental path you're following. Krishna takes care of his devotees. So the first thing that the Lord is doing is reassuring Arjuna. Arjuna, I understand your concern. You are practicing spirituality, but you've not achieved success. You've not achieved your goal in one life. So he's reassuring Arjuna, giving him comfort, saying, nothing is lost. So similarly, when someone is in anxiety, the Lord is demonstrating to us how we need to handle that situation. First, we need to provide them with reassurance. Before we start speaking philosophy or trying to eliminate their mind. So compassion first, reassurance first, followed by the truth or philosophy. Srila Prabhupada references a shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, where Narada Muni is speaking to Vyasadeva, and Narada Muni is telling Vyasadeva, if someone gives up all material prospects and takes complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no loss or degradation in any way. On the other hand, a devotee, let's just scroll to that. On the other hand, a non-devotee may fully engage in his occupational duties and yet not gain anything, which means you may do all your duties perfectly, but if you have not worshipped the Lord even for a single second of your lifetime, then everything is a waste. Whereas if somebody gives up some material desires and begins to take shelter of the Supreme Lord, there is no loss for that person. So the difference is between those who do their duties and responsibilities perfectly, but do not take shelter of the Supreme Lord, or do not accept the Supreme Lord in their life, versus those who may give up some of their material desires and have begun their spiritual journey simply by taking the shelter of the Supreme Lord although they have not achieved perfection as of yet, there is no degradation for them. That is what the Lord is saying. So here, just give me a second. Yeah. So the scriptures say that one has to suffer the reactions for not executing prescribed duties. Therefore, one who fails to perform their prescribed duties, they become subject to karma. But then, along with performing your prescribed duties, one should also worship the Supreme Lord. If you do, that is actually Krishna consciousness. And in that way, you will make progress in life. In chapter 2, Shloka 49, the Lord tells Arjuna that he should keep away all abominable activities by performing devotional service. And then in that consciousness, ultimately surrender to the Lord. So that shloka goes as follows. Durena hyavaram karma, buddhi yoga dhananjaya, buddhau sharanam anvicha, kripanah palahetavaha. So Krishna is saying, everyone, just by performing devotional service, can keep away abominable activities. But then, in that same shloka, the Lord also says, however, those who want to only enjoy themselves are considered misers. So, in this purport, in the purport to this particular shloka, the 40th shloka here in the 6th chapter that we're discussing, Srila Prabhupada explains in detail that there are two categories of human beings. Those who follow regulations and those who do not. And the Lord is explaining, he uses the word Kalyanakrit in this particular shloka. So Kalyanakrit could be translated to what is auspicious. Srila Prabhupada is explaining what Krishna is categorizing as auspicious. So we said there are two kinds of devotees, or rather two kinds of human beings. Those who follow the regulated path and those who follow unregulated means to satisfy their desires. So those who are fall under the unregulated categories, they are considered to be animals because they are doing the same thing that animals do, except they're doing it with sophistication. So whatever they do is not considered auspicious. Then when you come to the regulated category, there are three subcategories in this regulated category that Srila Prabhupada writes about in the purport. The first category of subcategory of those who follow the Vedic scriptures is those who follow the Vedic scriptures but to enjoy material prosperity. And within this, Prabhupada says there is two subcategories, those who are fruitive workers and those who don't want the fruits. This category of people, even though they are following the scriptures, their activities are not considered auspicious. Even though they are following the scriptures. So the second subcategory of those who follow the regulated path is those who are pursuing liberation from material existence. And the third category are devotees in Krishna consciousness. So the latter two, which is those who are pursuing liberation from material existence, their activities are auspicious. Devotees in Krishna consciousness, their activities are auspicious. So even in the regulated category, there is one subcategory that is considered not auspicious. What is that subcategory? Those who follow the scriptures either to enjoy themselves or to reject the fruits of their labor. Both are considered not auspicious, which means Kalyanakrit means those who are trying to achieve self-realization and then God realization. only these two categories of people, their activities can be considered Kalyanakrit. How does the Lord preserve our efforts even if we are not successful? That will get covered in the next 3 shlokas. So this is the essence of today's shloka, is that the Lord is reassuring Arjuna that whatever auspicious activities he performs or a transcendentalist performs is always preserved as a permanent credit in the Lord's mind.